right. Everybody, we are on to week 5. Obviously, we dropped the power rankings, all that good stuff. We are on to week 5 now. The power rankings are going to be scrolling down below, just in case you're wondering, as well as the stream schedule for tomorrow. I will be streaming the Bears and Commanders, so make sure you guys like it and, of course, subscribe. Also, hit that like, that thumbs up. It is much, much appreciated. Rocking with your boy Jay today for these week 5 predictions. I do think that the Cowboys 49ers game is going to be one of the most historic games that we've seen in a long time for multiple reasons. The hype around it, whether or not Dak Prescott's going to go out there and he's going to perform. And I think it's really going to show if Brock Purdy is the real deal against a very, very, very solid defense, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that said, I'm going to chop it up with you guys until we get through these predictions. I'm ready. I am ready. What's up, Marbles? What's going on with you? Dawn C in the house? Let's go. Shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family, all the listeners, all the watchers as we get through your week 5 predictions. It's going to be a good show, so make sure that if you are watching this later, you get your popcorn. I'll try to drop these. I'll try to put the timestamps on them later because I know these are kind of long and some of you guys just want one specific team, and that's totally fine, but I'll do that. And then, obviously, if you don't catch the stream too, I'll drop these in clips so you guys will have it as well. So, there you go. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Your week 5 predictions. And we're going to be starting off with Thursday night football. Thursday night football. It's going to be your Bears and the Commanders. Like I said, I will be streaming this tomorrow night, so make sure you lock it in. It's going to be at 8:15. Your Bears are 0-4. Commanders are 2-2 on the matchup predictor. 38.9% for your Bears, 60.8% for the Commanders. As far as your season leaders, Mr. Fields with 79 of 123, 861 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. On the flip side, Howell with 94 out of 140, 961 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. On the rushing side, Herbert with 41 carries, 196 yards, and Robinson Jr. with 261 yards on 3 touchdowns. As for receiving, you have Moore with 19 receptions, 301 yards, 1 touchdown. As far as the injury report for your Bears, Tevin Jenkins, Jalen Johnson, and Eddie Jackson will be questionable. For the Commanders, Christian Holmes, and then Chris Rodriguez is questionable as well. As for the team stats, for your yards allowed, Bears are allowing 387.5 yards. The Commanders, 366. As far as passing yards allowed, 272. For that Bears defense, they're struggling on both sides of the field. For the Commanders, 244. And then on the rushing side, 115.5. And then 122 for the Commanders. We know the last 5 have been complete and utterly just terrible losses. You got a loss to Green Bay, loss to Tampa, loss to Kansas City, and then the ridiculous loss against the Broncos, in which they were up a considerable amount of points, and then let Denver come back and win the game. Then on the flip side, for the Commanders, obviously taking the win against Arizona, win against Denver, loss to the Bills, and then a loss to Philly in overtime, in which I think that they could have won that game. But hey, the Eagles skated by once again. All right, so the spread for this one is going to be 6 in favor of your Commanders. Over-under is 44, ladies and gentlemen. So, as far as with everything that's been going on with these Bears and them just not having a real identity as far as on offense or defense, and the issues with Justin Fields right now and whether or not he's going to be the man of the franchise. I don't think he is. A lot of you don't as well. I think we're in agreement there. But there's just something about having the overwhelming consensus pick one specific side. Can it be a good game just like, the Bears put up against the Broncos? Sure. But I think defensively and offensively, the Commanders come out on top in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take them by 7, ladies and gentlemen. So Commanders there by 7 for Thursday night football. There it is. What's up, Frank? Shout out to Rebecca in the house. Bills Mafia in the building. Raymond says, rocks with you, homie. Shout out to you, Raymond. Much love, man. Let's go. Carter says, let's go, Commanders. What's up, Carter? Sheila in the house. What's up, Sheila? Charlie in the building says, let's go, Bears. Okay, okay. Frank says, shared your video on Facebook, bro. Thanks a lot, Frank. Thanks for the support, my friend. I work for Facebook. Really? You work for Facebook? Shout out to you, man. Charlie says, are you going to do the next Dolphins game? Who are they playing and when is it? When is it, my friend? We're going to go through it, but I don't think it's on the schedule. I don't think it's on the schedule, my friend. But all right. Next up. What do we got? What do we got? We have my Bills Mafia against the Jaguars. Obviously, Bills coming off a strong win, as well as the Jags. But, two different teams, two different dynamics. And let's get into this one. 20.4% for the Jags. Going into the Sunday game, it'll be at 9:30 a.m. For the Bills, 79.5% on the matchup predictor. For the season leader, Trevor Lawrence, 96 of 143, 943 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Josh, my quarterback, Allen, 101 of 135, 1,048 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. As far as rushing, Etienne Jr., 69 carries, 260 yards, 1 touchdown. James Cook with 56 carries, 296 yards, 1 touchdown. As far as the receiving side of things, Christian Kirk with 24 receptions on 257 yards, 1 touchdown. And Stephon Diggs with 31 receptions, 399 yards, 4 touchdowns. As far as the injury report for the Jags, you have Parker Washington, Jamal Agnew, Zay Jones, Antonio Johnson, and Dwayne Smoot, either out or on the PUP. As for the Bills, Khalil Shakur, Tre'Davious White, Christian Benford, Jordan Poyer, and Von Miller still on the PUP list. But they said that he should be playing in this game. I'm hoping that he is. I would like to see Von back. So there you go. As for the team stats, total yards, 337 on average for the Jags, 400 for the Bills. And the yards allowed, 344 for the Jags, 312 for the Bills, 249 on the passing, 194 on the passing for the Bills, 94 on the rushing for the Jags, 118 for the Bills. The spread is 5.5 in favor of the Bills. 48.5 is your over and under. And you guys already know, I got to go with my Bills Mafia. But I do think this will be a victory by 14. 14 for my Jags. Shout out to you, Sheila. I love you, but you know how this goes. Don C says, I think the scroll is for last week. Oh yeah, it is. I should probably fix that. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and fix that. Hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. Hold the phone. Shout out to you, Don. Thank you for calling that out. I be moving so fast sometimes. Let me fix that for you guys. I be moving so fast sometimes, trying to get stuff done between work and football. But here you go. There we go. Ain't nobody else want to help me out, huh? Nobody? Shout out to you, Don. All right, there we go. It's fixed. So, yeah, Bills by 14 in this one. It's an international game, so this will be 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I may be traveling. So, just got to drop the bomb there. I may be traveling. I will know Friday for sure. But either way, I will be on for maybe a hype video or two. And I may just go live for a reaction. We'll see. But I'll let you guys know. This will probably be the first time that I miss a Bill stream in 3 years. Yeah. I don't know yet. Like I said, I'll let you know for sure Friday. I have to see what's going on. But all right. Here we go. Next up, it's going to be these Texans and the Falcons. They're both 2-2. I think this would be a great game. CJ Stroud stepping it up last week. His name is being talked about a lot right now. The Falcons as well. I think the Falcons are going to play a great game. This is going to be at 1 o'clock. Getting into this one, 47.1% for the Falcons, 52.5% for the Falcons. They'll be at home. As for the season leaders, you have C.J. Stroud, 94 of 151, 1,212 yards, 6 touchdowns. As for Ritter, 74 out of 119, 744 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Stroud has thrown for over 1,200 yards? Wow. That's interesting. All right. Pierce, 64 carries and 181 yards, 1 touchdown. Robinson, 53 carries of 318 yards. As for Collins on the receiving yard, 428 yards on 22 receptions, 3 touchdowns. And Smith with 15 receptions, 179 yards. All right. As for the injury report, for the Texans, Denzel Perryman, Laramie Tunzel, Tavir Thomas, Cameron Johnson, and Kendrick Green are out. For the Falcons, you have Josh Ali on IR. As far as the team stats, 391 yards for the Texans, 314 for the Falcons. Yards allowed, 320.5 for the Texans, 301 for your Falcons. Getting into the spread, Falcons favored by 2, 41.5. And I got to go against the grain here. I think the Texans have figured some things out. I think they have a great combination with Stroud, Collins, Pierce on the running. Yeah, I'm going to have to go Texans, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go Texans by a touchdown. I'm taking Texans by 7, ladies and gentlemen. Texans by 7. Anybody ready for the alarm? Yeah, if you don't want to hear the alarm, I suggest you don't shut your phone off if you're listening to me, but if you're listening to me on another device, shut your phone off. Because there's supposed to be some weird alarm that goes off at 2:00. Everybody's phone is going to go off at 2:20 in the country, which is kind of weird. I'm just saying. It's a little weird. I don't like it. But yeah, I'm not going to get into that side of things, you know. Tinfoil hat gang, where you at? All right, let's keep it going. Next up, we have your Panthers and the Lions. Panthers are on 4, Lions 3-1. Well, I mean, we'll get into this one. TNN Production says, I'm scared. Well, don't be scared. It's nothing to be scared over. Just, silence your phone at that point. That's all. 22.7% for the Panthers, 77.1% for the Lions. As far as Young, 503 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jared Goff, 1,029 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. On the rushing side, Saunders with 158 yards, 1 touchdown. Montgomery, 262 yards, 5 touchdowns. On the receiving side, Thielen with 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Amon St. Brown with 331 yards, 2 touchdowns. As far as the injury report, Dante Jackson, Jonathan Mingo, Xavier Woods are all questionable for the Panthers. For the Lions, Kirby Joseph, Emmanuel Mosley, Vaitai, and then Brown and Gardner Johnson are on IR. For the team stats, 311 yards for the Panthers, 393 for the Lions. Yards allowed, 332 for the Panthers, 311 for the Lions. Getting into the spread, Detroit at home is favored by 9.5. Your over-under is 45, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have to go back through this. We're going with the Lions on this, unless you're just a severe Panthers fan or you're thinking that they're just going to magically win this game. This should be a landslide victory, blowout at home for these Lions. I'm going to go ahead and take them by 14. I'll take them by 14. They might let the Panthers get some pity points. Who knows? But, yeah, I'm going Lions by 14. Jacob says, yo, Jay, did you do the Pittsburgh game yet? I did not. We are not there yet, my friend. Sheila says, I bet them Panthers are having second thoughts. I agree. Rodney, what up, man? What's going on with you, bro? Jones is taking the Texans. Yes, I am as well. We are on the same boat there, my friend. We're on the same boat there. All right, so yeah, Lions by 14 in that one. Next up, we got your – ooh, okay. We got the Titans and the Colts, ladies and gentlemen. Titans and the Colts. Both teams are 2-2. I see another dogfight here. And I say that loosely because, hey, it's the Colts right now. They're figuring some things out. I love you as well, Luta, but you guys need some help. Colts need some help. 2-2, both teams. 55.6% for your Titans. 44.1% for these Colts. Getting into the season leaders, Tannehill with 788 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Richardson with 479 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. On the rushing side, Henry, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns. Moss with 280 yards, 1 touchdown. Hopkins, 216 yards on 18 receptions. And Pittman Jr. with 245 yards, 1 touchdown. As far as the injury report, for your Titans, Kyle Phillips, Treylon Burks, Luke Gifford, Elijah Molden, and Peter Skoronski are questionable. For the Colts, Kwity Paye, Sam Eilinger, Ryan Kelly, Bernard Raymond, and Dallas Flowers are out. For these team stats, 308 yards for the Titans, 335 for the Colts. Yards allowed, 336 for the Titans, 413 for the Colts. As far as the spread, Tennessee is favored by 1. Oof. 42.5 is your over and under. So, I think I'm going to go with these Titans again. I really like how they change things around. And, yeah, I'm going to take these Titans as my mic's like, I don't know, Jay. I don't know. I think we should take the Colts, Jay. No, I'm going to Titans. I'm going to go Titans on this week. Again. And I'm going to take them by 7. Ladies and gentlemen. Titans by 7. So there it is. Bob says, what up, Bob? What's going on with you, my man? Bob in the building. Jacob says, Jay, I need Cook to have a good game, but I need Davis to not go off for fantasy. Well, you can't have both. Sir. You gotta have pick one or the other, right? Lions get Jameson Wilson back this week. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I'm taking the Colts in that game. Okay. Titans shocked me against the Browns. Exactly. Lutza says Colts. I knew you were gonna say it, Lutza. I knew. But I think Titans are gonna take this one. I do. All right. TNN Production says thoughts on Bengals this year. I think you paid your quarterback too much money, unfortunately, and right now, he's not showing his worth. He's not showing his value. Right? How would you feel? Right? Let's say you I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Let's say you have a significant other, right? Hey, didn't they say 220? It's 218. See, this is why you can't trust people. And I'm just going to say that. They said 220. It's 218. Yeah. Not going to say anything about it. Let's keep it going forward. All right. Here we go. Actually, let me take this call real quick. Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on this stream right now. So tell them I need about like 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm on the stream like 30 minutes. All right. My phones did that too. Exactly. All right, so back to the question in regards to Joe Burrow before all this stuff happened. So, at the end of the day, right, when you look at the opportunity that he's been given, right, $270 million, and not going out there and performing and, just keeping the game remotely close and allowing the defense to potentially make a play so that they can come back, or something like that. It's kind of one of those situations where it's like, okay, you got Jamar Chase complaining, and you have, the squad just not having the best morale. So what happens next, right? Is he just going to magically, show up like last year in the last part of the season? Is that what's going to happen? I don't think so. I really don't. So, yeah, he got paid too much along with Danny Dimes. Yeah, along with Danny Dimes. Roddy, yeah, it was a nationwide alert. It was a nationwide alert. Everybody got that warning on their phone. So, yeah. All right, I'm going Titans on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Titans by 7. So, here we go. Next up, Giants. Speaking of Danny Dimes, the Giants and the Dolphins. Giants are 12.9%. 87% for your Dolphins at home. Do I need to get into the specifics of this? I think we already know how this is going to go. Unless something absolutely crazy happened. And, unless something absolutely crazy happens and a rock falls from space, I don't see these Giants beating the Dolphins at home. And to be quite frank, I think this is going to be the revenge game of a lifetime just because they're mad about what happened last week. So they put up 70 on the Broncos. I'm not saying they're going to do the same thing, but I think they may put up 50. They'll put up a 50 piece on these Giants the way that things are going. And it's really a shame. It's really a shame. So, yeah. Trey says Nationwide is on your side. I'm not doing it. I'm not going there. I'm going Dolphins, ladies and gentlemen. You guys know what it is. We're going Dolphins on this one. This is pretty easy. We don't have to go through the specifics. We know how bad that Daniel Jones is playing, and when you see Brian Dable get out of character and start yelling at his quarterback like that and basically exposing his feelings and emotions, you know what's about to happen with this team, right? It is literally a rolling ball of just terrible right now. And it's going to strike out. Okay? It's going to strike out. Charlie says, let's go Dolphins. Yeah, this is very easy to say let's go Dolphins on this one. That is for sure. Faces on Fire says, Daniel Jones is worth the money. What are you talking about? I mean, if you like to throw money away at people who aren't worth it, then hey, that's totally fine. You can think whatever you want. Faces on Fire. It's okay. It's totally fine. If you love wasting money on quarterbacks who get sacked, throw interceptions, take record-breaking numbers in sacks, then it's up to you. So, yeah. Dolphins in this one. All right, next up. We have the Saints and the Patriots. Now, I think this is very interesting. Obviously, considering what happened with the Patriots last week, taking that L to the Cowboys, but obviously it is the Cowboys. And then the Saints taking the L as well. So, yeah. What do we have here? 2-2 for the Saints, 1-3 for the Patriots. 45.8% for the Saints, 53.8% for your Patriots. Getting into the season leaders, Carr, 763 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Mac Jones, 93 of 146, 898 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. On the rushing side of things, Taysom Hill, 101 yards on 20 carries. Ramondre Stevenson, 60 carries, 164 yards, 1 touchdown. 60 carries, 164, wow. For the receiving side of things, 23 receptions, 306 yards for Olave. And Hunter Henry with 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. As far as the injury report for the Saints, Andres Pete, Paulson Adebo, Jordan Howden, Foster, Murray, and Cesar Ruiz is questionable. For the Patriots, Jonathan Jones, Cole Strange, Matthew Judon, and Christian Gonzalez is out. For the team stats, Saints, 308 yards. For the Patriots, 332. On the allowed side, 317 versus 315. New England's favored by 1, and your over-under is 40, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those toss-up games for me right now because I'm not feeling either of these teams right now. I'm just not. But with that said, I think Belichick is gonna squeak this one out. I do. I think he'll figure out a way to win this game, and I just don't think the Saints are that team that we thought they were going to be starting the season. So I'll take the Patriots by a field goal. And if the Saints end up blowing out these Patriots, I'm going to be very, very aggravated. But that is my pick for this week. Ludus says, Jay, can we pass on these teams? Both kind of suck. No, Lutzu, we got to get through all of them. Got to give the fans what they want. We got to get through all of them. What's up, Patty? Shout out to Patty coming through. Much love to the Bills Mafia. Jonas says, might be a rainy game in New England. Might come to not fumbling the ball and a field goal. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a close one. But I'm going to take the Patriots by a field goal. So there you go. May just says, Jay, are you picking my I don't know what that means. I don't know. Carter says, let's go Steelers. We're not there yet. All right, here we go. Next up. Ravens and the Steelers.
In the world, professional sports, where nepotism can certainly help. But if you don't perform, you are going to get kind of cut off at the seams. It's the way it is. Feels like this is a different year for Tomlin. Feels like all the acceptance of just him being the coach for the Steelers is being viewed a little bit differently. And every time he does, which this is how Tomlin has answered things for his entire career as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. He's been loyal to his very core, like that, to his coaches. Yeah. He is going to remain the same thing. He has all his statements that basically say, we don't overreact when everybody else is doing it. But it feels like this year, the reaction from the people that are normally on his side, because there's always been detractors in Pittsburgh, but the people that are normally on his side, sounds like they're getting a little bit more quiet. And it's like going the other way. Could you imagine Rooney decides like, all right, it's time.
All right, here's the reality of it. I mean, I got 3 words for this game. Well, before the game, I got 3 words for the Steelers. Fire Matt Canada. That's it. Just 3 words. Fire Matt Canada. That's it. There needs to be a huge, huge shakeup. And yes, Mike Tomlin is a very, very loyal coach. But there has to be a time where if you're getting beat up so much, right, that you have to set the loyalty aside and take the pain and move on, right? We can talk about narcissistic and toxic relationships, and yes, it can feel so comfortable, and it's going to hurt you to leave. But guess what? You have to let go, and you have to let that burn. You have to deal with that pain and go seek therapy and get over it. But you have to let go of certain people, and we're not going to play the song "In the Arms of an Angel" right now, but that's just the reality of it. Fire Matt Canada, and we may see some changes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get into it. Ravens and the Steelers. Ravens 3-1, Steelers 2-2. Ravens 71.8%, 28% for your Steelers. Get into the season leaders. Lamar Jackson 78 of 105, 794 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kenny Pickett 77 of 127, 803 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. On the rushing side, Lamar Jackson 220 yards, 4 touchdowns. Najee Harris, 49 carries, 210 yards. On the receiving side of things, Flowers, 24 receptions, 244 yards. Pickens, 263 yards and 1 touchdown. As far as the injury report, Rashad Bateman, Marlon Humphrey, Odafe Owa, Ronnie Stanley, and Marcus Williams is questionable for the Ravens. For the Steelers, James Daniels, Presley Harvin, Kenny Pickett, Pat Freiermuth, and Dan Moore are either questionable or out. As far as the team stats, 349 yards for the Ravens, 284 for the Steelers. Yards allowed, 295 for the Ravens, 421 for the Steelers. Unbelievable. As for the spread, Ravens are favored by 4, over-under 38. I mean, I would say Ravens by 1 billion, but that's a Bills thing. I'm going to say Ravens by 14 on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Ravens by 14. And until there's a big shakeup for the Steelers, I just don't see them doing anything right now. And it's really a shame. It really is, because I had high hopes for Kenny Pickett. He came out so strong in preseason. He looked like he was going to do just historical numbers for the Steelers franchise, and he let everybody down. And now, I don't know, what it's going to take, but I think definitely firing Matt Canada is a start. So, Ravens by 14 on that one, ladies and gentlemen, and I am confident in that 14. I think it's a strong 14. It could be more. It could be more. Kathy says, Luta, is Jay mad at me or is he just busy? Kathy, I'm working here, lady. I've been cutting back and forth. Like I'll go through the prediction and then I'll hop in the chat. Go through the prediction and I'll hop in the chat. You know, I love all of y'all. So if I did not see you, I do apologize. I do love you, Kathy. Shout out to you, my loyal fan on the channel. Shout out to you. All right. Who else we got? Rodney says, respect the Patriots. No. Faces on Fire says, you leave Tomlin alone? Where's Greta? How dare you talk about Mike Tomlin like that? May just says, Jay, are you picking my Eagles to win this week? I'm not there yet, buddy. I am not there yet. You got to sit here and sweat for a little while. You got to sweat for a little while. Just a little while. Just a little while. Jonas says, Jay, honestly, what is your point on Sauce getting called for that hold? Why they didn't let them play? Chiefs seem to be saved by the refs, just like last year's Super Bowl. Listen, you guys want to have that conversation? The Chiefs-Jets game was the reason why we had so many flags on Monday night. You guys seen exactly what happened, just like I did. All those flags in that Chiefs-Jets game are the reason why we dealt with so many flags in the Seahawks and the Giants game. And guess what? At the end of the day, these are the guys that control the game. And it sucks. It really does. And listen, I know how so many people hate it when I said, hey, let's, create like a system where AI could be involved and things like that. But that's not the case. That's not the case. And unfortunately, when you have the human element, you're going to have not only, and I'll say this loosely because I don't want to get into it, but you have the human element of creating their own kind of thoughts, process, opinions, their own ambitions, their own motivation and intentions to how they make decisions. But when you bring in a computer or AI that could potentially call flags on specific plays because of them scanning a whole field and looking at each play and every player individually, things could be maybe a little bit more fair. Now, I know some people are going to freak out because I just said that, and that's why I said I'm saying it loosely. But I think there's got to be some kind of combination. I think there's got to be a combination of some AI and some human element to where AI can pick out the play or the person that committed the foul, how many ever it was on the field, and then you can have maybe two individuals make sure that it's accurate. I'm just saying, because something's got to change. Something's got to change. That's all I'm saying. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I got the Ravens on that one by 14. All right. Next up, these Eagles and the Rams. Majors, this one's for you, my friend. This one is for you. 55.9% for these Eagles, who are 4-0. Rams, 43.8% at home, and they're 2-2. Now listen, before we get into this one, who have the Eagles played against, and how close have these games been? Huh? We know I don't have to go back through it, but I will. And who have the Rams played strong against and won against, and even though they've lost 2 games, they've been playing some tough football. I really like this one. I really do. Let's get into it. As far as the season leaders, Jalen Hurts, 88 of 130, 959 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Matt Stafford, 103 yards, 166 on the attempts, 1,229 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. On the rushing side of things, Swift, 364 yards, 2 touchdowns. Williams with 245 yards, 5 touchdowns. On the receiving side of things, A.J. Brown, 414 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been killing it. And Nicola with 39 receptions, 501 yards, 1 touchdown as well. And he's also been doing his thing. As far as the injury report, Britton Covey, Cam Jurgens, Sidney Brown, Justin Evans, and Quez Watkins are questionable for the Eagles. For the Rams, Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Tyler Higbee, Alaric Jackson, and Cooper Kupp, who the Rams desperately need, is out. As far as the team stats, 405 yards for the Eagles, 411 yards for the Rams. Yards allowed, pay attention. Pay attention. 342 for the Eagles, 305 for the Rams. 279 passing yards allowed for the Eagles, 194 for the Rams. 63 rush yards allowed for the Eagles, 111 for the Rams. Now getting into the last five. Ladies and gentlemen. The win against the Commanders by 3 in overtime. Okay? The win against Tampa Bay, 25-11. The win against Minnesota, a one-score game, 34-28. And a win against the Patriots, 25-20, which is also a one-score game. Now, on the flip side, on these Rams, win against the Colts, 29-23 in OT. A loss to the Bengals, 19-16, three-point game. San Francisco, one-score game, 30-23. And a win against the Seahawks, 30-13. Before I get into this prediction, shout out to Frederica coming through with the $5 super chat. Thanks a lot, Frederica. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. It is much appreciated. Says, what's good, Jay and the Wrench Gang? Today is a great day. I hope you're having a great day as well. Shout out to you, Frederica. As for the spread, Phillies favored by 4. The over-under is 50.5 for these Rams at home. Guess what? I'm not even being an Eagles hater, but I think for some reason they're just going to pull this off. It's going to be so ridiculous and so crazy. It's probably going to be by a field goal, ladies and gentlemen. They've just been edging this thing out every game. And yes, as much as it pains me to say it, because I want to see some dominant victories from these Eagles. I have not seen it. And the problem is they've just been scraping by. But it doesn't matter whether you win by 1 or you win by 50, as long as you win. And I got to go Eagles by 3. It's just the reality of it. I hope you feel good about yourself, Mages, because it pained me to get through that one, but I had to be realistic about it. I did. I got the Eagles by 3. But watch something crazy happen. Watch. Because I took them this week. You know how that works.
What's good, JN Wrench Gang?
All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, the Bengals and the Cardinals. Bengals 1-3, Cardinals 1-3. Yeah, 64.3% for the Bengals, 35.4% for the Cardinals. Dobbs looking strong, ladies and gentlemen. Kids looking strong. Came out of nowhere. 87 of 123, 814 yards, 4 touchdowns. On the flip side, we know what Burrow's been doing. He's been having a tough time, a rough start at it. 728 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Mixon, 247 yards on 1 touchdown. Connor, 318 yards on 2 touchdowns. And on the receiving side of things, Chase, who's always open. I'm always open. Pass me the ball, Chase. 29 receptions, 284 yards. Brown with 21 receptions, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns. As far as the injury report, Cam Taylor-Britt, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Irv Smith Jr., and T. Higgins are questionable for the Bengals. For the Cardinals, you have Kyler Murray, Keontae Ingram, Jonathan Ledbetter, and Josh Woods out. And then as far as the yards, 252 for the Bengals, 347 for the Cardinals. Yards allowed, 382 for the Bengals, 395 for the Cardinals. Last 5, lost to Tennessee, win against the Rams, lost to Baltimore, lost to the Browns for the Bengals. For the Cardinals, lost to San Francisco, win against Dallas. We're not going to let y'all live that down. You lost to the Cardinals. They took a loss to the Giants and a loss to the Commanders, which is really interesting because, look, as much as we've written off the Cardinals, all these are close games. Look at this, 20-16, 31-28. These are games they could have easily won, and then they won against Dallas, and then they lost to the number 1 team in the NFL right now, which is the 49ers. So, yeah, give me the Cardinals in this game. even though the Bengals are favored by 3 and the over-under is 44.5. I'm taking Cardinals at home by 14, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a strong 14 for me this week. I'm not a believer in the Bengals right now. I'm just not. Until they can prove me wrong, there it is. So, yeah, Cardinals by 14 at home. Next up, we have your Jets and the Broncos.
When you get a guy who's played as much football as Aaron Rodgers had, the conversations that he can have with his quarterback gives you confidence. Hey, listen, we're going to get into this formation, this set. Here's what you're going to get. Look here or here. Just you simplify the offense and you see a player play fast. Think about when you watch preseason games and the starting quarterbacks are actually calling the plays for these guys and communicating with them. It matters. And by the way, that's not even talking about the week leading up to the game where if it's Hackett or it's Wilson or whoever's deciding to put something in, no, take that out. I'm telling you, I played against this defense. They're going to give us this look. It's no good. I think those things matter to Zach Wilson, and it allows you to play free. I think Aaron Rodgers was a huge addition being back out there.
All right. So with that said, in this one, without a doubt, I'm sure that you guys seen it and I seen it as well. The last game, even though it was a loss, that's going to lead to so much confidence for Zach Wilson and go out there and ball. And I think it's great that this week he has a team like the Broncos. And I say that because guess what? All it takes is a little bit of confidence to get you over that hump. Now, is it going to be just this comeback situation for the Jets? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is if he can get a couple wins under his belt to create some kind of chemistry, to create some kind of motivation, not just for the team, but for himself, I could definitely see him becoming the person that the Jets need. We've seen him had some strong passes. We've seen him basically develop some time in the pocket so he can actually let the play work itself out so he could throw and get those passes going. With that said, I like it. I've not been a fan of Zach Wilson. You guys know it's been all jokes and memes. But from what I seen against the Chiefs, I did see a different person who wanted to get better and who actually wanted to go out there and win and not just exist on the field. So he's got a newfound respect for me. Not that much, but he's got a newfound respect for me. 54.6% for your Jets this week, 45.1% for the Broncos. Getting into the season leader, Zach Wilson, 712 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Russell Wilson, 1,014 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. On the rushing side of things, Hall with 210 yards, Williams, 138 yards. On the receiving side of things, Wilson, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mims Jr., 242 yards on 1 touchdown. As far as the injury report, Tony Adams, Wes Schweitzer, and Brandon Eccles is out for the Jets. For the Broncos, Javonte Williams, Frank Clark, Jose Jewell, Mike Purcell, and Justin Simmons are questionable for the Broncos. Team stats, 273 yards for the Jets, 349 for the Broncos, 371 for the Jets, 478 yards allowed for the Broncos. Last 5, obviously the loss to KC, the loss to the Patriots, loss to the Cowboys, win against the Bills. Yeah, I'm not living that one down. I'm not. It sucks. Loss as far as the Broncos, a win against the Bears. They came back in a ridiculous style. Lost to Miami, lost to the Commanders, and a loss to the Raiders. So, yeah, you basically have the same situation here, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams are 1-3. Who's going to be the better quarterback? Russell Wilson or Zach Wilson? Russell Wilson or Zach? It's the battle of the Wilsons. You didn't get it, ladies and gentlemen. It's the battle. Which Wilson's going to be better? Which one? I'm going to go with Zach this week. The better defense is going to win. And, yeah, I'm going to take them by 14. I'm going to take them by 14 on this one against these Broncos. The spread is Denver by 1.5. Over-under is 43.5, but I'm taking the Jets 14 points. And there you go. There you go on that one. All right. Next up. Chiefs and the Vikings. 3-1 Chiefs, 1-3 Vikings. 67.6% for the Chiefs, 32.1% for your Vikings. Patrick Mahomes, 1,006 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Kirk Cousins, 1,214 yards. 1,214 yards. 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Pacheco, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. Madison, 250 yards. On the receiving side of things, Watson, 163 yards on 8 receptions. Jefferson, 543 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, this is going to be a wild one. I think this game is going to be one of those really, really down to the wire, questionable ones, but not like the Jets. Getting into the injury report, Cole Christensen, Nick Bolton, Jalen Watson, and Matt Dickerson are questionable for the Chiefs. For the Vikings, Garrett Bradbury, Lewis Seen, Jaron Hall are all questionable for the Vikings. Team stats, 396 yards for the Chiefs, 387 yards for the Vikings. Yards allowed, 307 for the Chiefs, 367 for the Vikings. Getting into the spread, KC is favored by 4. 52.5 is your over-under. Vikings at home? No. It's going to be a close one, but unfortunately, it's going to be another game where we see Patrick Mahomes and company figure out a way to win, without a doubt. With that said, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some ups and downs on this one because I think the Vikings are definitely going to look to make a point at home. They're 1-3, and if there's a team to make a point against, it would be KC. So it's going to be a good one, but I'm still going to take KC. I got to go those Chiefs by a touchdown. So there it is. All right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, the game of the week, the game of the year maybe, the game that everybody's going to be waiting for. These Cowboys and these 49ers. All right. This is going to be Sunday Night Football at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. You got your Cowboys 3-1, San Francisco 4-0. 44.6% for the Cowboys, 55% for the 49ers at home. As far as your season leaders, Dak Prescott, 908 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Brock Purdy, 81 of 112, 1,019 yards, 5 touchdowns. This kid has not thrown a pick. He's not thrown a pick. They have 1 turnover. As far as the rushing yards, Tony Pollard, 311 yards, 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey, I think I have an MVP coming to me. 459 yards, 6 touchdowns on 80 carries. This guy is amazing this year. On the receiving side of things, CeeDee Lamb, 309 yards on 23 receptions, 1 touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, who is also balling, 17 receptions, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. If you don't look at this 49ers team and feel at least nervous as a Cowboys fan, you're a hater. You are a hater. You have to be realistic right now. I get it. You have a solid defense and an okay offense. But when you look at this 49ers defense and offense right now, you have to be concerned on both sides of the field, ladies and gentlemen. On both sides of the field. On the injury report, we've got Zach Martin, Micah Parsons, Tyron Smith, Peyton Hendershot, and Rico Dowdle questionable for the Cowboys. For the 49ers, John Feliciano, Elijah Mitchell, and Juan Jennings questionable for the 49ers. As far as the stats, 373 yards for these Cowboys, 407 yards for the 49ers. Yards allowed, 280 for the Cowboys, 301 for the 49ers. Last 5, Cowboys obviously beat the Patriots 38-3, lost to the Cardinals 28-16, won against the Jets 30-10, and then won against the Giants 40-0. For the 49ers, win against Arizona 35-16, win against the Giants 30-12, win against the Rams 30-23, and a win against Pittsburgh 30-7. So, yeah, what do we see here? Both these teams scoring either close to or over 30 points a game. This is going to be a hell of a defensive battle, ladies and gentlemen. on both sides. The spread is San Francisco by 4. Over-under is 45. I'm not just going to sit here and say, hey, 49ers come out and demolish the Cowboys, because I don't think that's going to happen. Here's my thing. If you are a Cowboys fan or you believe in this Cowboys team, if they're going to strike, they have to strike the iron hot, and they have to strike it fast if they're going to have a chance in this thing. But guess what? Your defense isn't going to be able to just get the job done themselves. You're going to need Dak to actually go out there and be able to pass that ball, because the run's not going to be as heavy and not going to be as utilized as you guys think it will be. He's going to have to pass on this defense. You're going to have to see some good play action, and he's going to have to get away from that defensive line. So if the Cowboys are going to make this a game, Dak Prescott is going to have to step the hell up. And that's your reality of it. That's not me throwing shade. That's not me giving hate. I am telling you the honest truth. I feel like Dak can make this a game, but he's got to play at his elite level, in which everyone knows that he can play, but it's got to be for this game. If you're going to match the 49ers' intensity, you're going to have to play at their level. Because guess what? Regardless if you're a fan of Brock Purdy or not, the 49ers are number one for a reason. And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen. So, Jay, what's your pick? You've been doing all this talking. I mean, on the flip side, we know what Brock Purdy has. The man has not thrown any interceptions. He's efficient. He knows how to work the ball, move the clock. You've got McCaffrey back there. You've got Kittle. You have so many other weapons. You've got Ayuk. And these guys know how to catch the ball. They know how to make a play. And they don't have to they're not making Brock Purdy work as hard to get them the ball. That's the beauty of it. He knows he can throw a 50-50 ball, and guess what? It's a 95% chance Ayuk is going to get it. He knows if he hands off to McCaffrey, McCaffrey's going to bust through that hole and get at least 7-8 yards. It's in the stats, ladies and gentlemen. It is in the stats. This is going to be a hell of a battle. But when it comes down to it, you got 49ers at home, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to go with the 49ers at home. By a field goal. By a field goal. I can't wait for it, without a doubt. It's going to be crazy. But, yeah. 49ers by a field goal. All right, let me read some of these comments before you guys feel like I'm abandoning you. I'm never abandoning you. I'm trying to get through this stuff for you guys. Frederica says, hey, Jay, do likes matter now? I think it does, so I'm going to go and give an additional like using the upstairs computer. Shout out to you, Frederica. Thank you for the support. Yes, the likes do matter, ladies and gentlemen. It is much appreciated. We're at 37. It'd be nice if we can get to 50. The like helps move the video up in the algorithm, so it's much, much appreciated. So make sure that you do hit that like, that thumbs up. Of course, also, if you are new to the channel, make sure that you do subscribe. Click that bell, turn your notifications so you don't miss a stream. Obviously, tomorrow night will be Thursday Night Football. I will be streaming it, so make sure that you do lock it in. Sheila says Chiefs because Mr. Pfizer is fired up. Oh, no. I got to stop reading stuff so fast. You guys get me caught in the crossfire all the time. It's like, Jay, we got him to say it. Jay, we got him to say it. Yeah, it's me, Matt. What's up, guys? Did I miss the Lions prediction? Yes, that was like 15 minutes ago. Luther says, OMG, you're going with the green guys? I had to do it. Don C says Broncos are on a tanking watch. Yeah, it's tough. Who did I miss? Freddie says, let's go Cards. Watch the Cards pull this win out by 3. Yeah, I got the Cards. At home. Marble Sky says Cowboys. Luda says 49ers all the way. Sheila says so excited for the Cowboys and the 49ers. Kathy says 49ers is going to win because of our offense. Purdy is also arguably top 5. Ooh. You know what? I got to do a top 10 quarterback video. Yeah, I got to do that. I got to get that's been in the works for a while. I wanted to wait till we're mid-season, but yeah, we're going to do that soon. Patty says 49ers. Yes, me, Matt says I want 10 sacks this game per team. It's not going to happen. You're not going to see 10 sacks per team, man. It's not going to happen. Luda says go 49ers. Rodney says, boy, don't know on this, but 49ers question mark. Patty says, just got my nationwide alert. Yeah. Jonas says, my Cowboys defense has to show up. Dallas lost to the Cardinals because of 3 key offensive linemen was out. We got 2 of them back. I agree. Kathy says, you're absolutely right, Jay. Happy face. 49ers are not the Pats, that's for sure. Yeah. Come on now. Carter says, let's go Steelers. Yeah, they're going to need a lot of that. Jonas says, Purdy might get picked off by Bland or even a veteran Gilmore. Jonas, you're hoping. You are hoping for a pick at this point, right? You're hoping. The man hasn't thrown an interception, right? We talk about efficiency, and I don't care if they're 4-0. I don't care who they've went up against. This is the NFL, okay? This is the NFL. And when you have a quarterback who throws for 81 of 112, 1,019 yards, and they haven't thrown a pick in that time, yeah, that's different. And now, can you put him in the elite conversation? Because look at Dak Prescott. 908 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. And guess what? He started the year just like Dak did. He didn't just come in and finish off. He started the year this way. And I tried to tell you guys last year, you didn't want to believe me. You said I was crazy. And I said Brock Purdy would be the man. And here we are. The premonition coming true. Where's my flowers? I want my flowers before I get to the grave, not after. There it is. Carter says, yeah, you're right. Ecafone says, what it do, Henny J? What up, man? What's going on with you today? Shout out to you guys. Astrology says, I'm taking Jags over Bills because the British want to flex their ownership of the betting house. This is blasphemy. I thought we were friends, Astrology. I really did, man. I'm taking the Jags. Unbelievable. Lou says, spring and fall, my weather is crazy. Weather's beautiful here in Jacksonville. Yeah, it's 86 today outside, but then we're supposed to be back down to the 50s, so I'm not enjoying it right now. You know, it's the fakery. The fakery. All right. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, before I cut up out of here, last but not least, we have your Packers and the Raiders. This is going to be Monday night. Monday Night Football. Obviously, I will be streaming this game Monday night, 8:15 on 10/9. It'll be my birthday week, y'all. I will let you know what day, but this is my birthday week. Turning 1 year older. All right. Got your Packers and your Raiders. I think this will be a good one. 2-2, 1-3. Getting into this one, 54.7% for the Packers, 44.9% for the Raiders. As far as the season leaders, Jordan Love, 74 of 132, 901 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jimmy Garoppolo, 709 yards, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. On the rushing side of things, Dillon, 118 yards. Jacobs, 166 with 1 touchdown. Dobbs with 224 yards, 3 touchdowns. Adams, 397 yards, 3 touchdowns. As far as the injury report, Zane Anderson, Devondre Campbell, Elton Jenkins, Luke Musgrave, Eric Stokes is out for the Packers. For the Raiders, Curtis Bolton, David Long, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Nate Hobbs are questionable. Team stats, 299 yards for the Packers, 302 for the Raiders, 372 on the yards allowed, 347 for the Raiders. And as for the last 5, you've got a loss to Detroit, a win against the Saints, a loss to Atlanta, and a win against the Bears for the Packers. For the Raiders, you have a loss to the Chargers, loss to the Steelers, loss to the Bills, and a win. 1-point win against the Broncos. Yeah, I'm going Packers on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Green Bay is favored by 1, 44.5 on the over-under. I got to go Jordan Love and company by a touchdown, and there it is. Those are your week 5 predictions, and that is how you do it on a live stream. See, I don't got to drop videos and edit and do all that kind of stuff. I like chopping it up while I'm doing the live, having conversations with you guys, because that's the way it's supposed to be done, and that's why you're rocking with the #1 streamer on YouTube for the NFL content. Let's go. Let me go back to these comments. Here we go. Happy Face says, I didn't think he'd be healthy enough yet, but clearly he focused on rehab in the offseason. Carter says, let's go Vikings over the Chiefs. 100. Okay. Jonas says, takes a defensive lineman to tip that ball up in the air. Once again, you're hoping that it happens. E. Capone says, I'm at work, so I can't turn up. Just turn up after. Luton says, Jay, happy B-Day. Shout out to you, Luton. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Patty says, I am also born in October. Let's go. Shout out to the October babies. Happy birthday to you as well. E. Capone says, Libra Power, Libra Nation. Libra Nation. You already know what time it is. Josh McDaniels needs to give it up and rejoin Belichick up here in New England. Maybe. Josh Jacobs' average per carry is fire. All right. Frederica says, happy it's a birthday week. Shout out to you, Frederica. Thank you for the love and support as well. Father Time, what up, man? What's going on with you? Lewis says, Friday the 13th. How was that for luck? Right? How was that for luck? What else we got? Please stop with the bravado. It's unbecoming. Cut it out, sir. Cut it out. Jacob says, who did you pick for Dallas and San Francisco? At the 49ers by a field goal. Jacob says, wait, it's your birthday, Jay? Happy birthday. This week. Next week is my birthday. Next week. Bob says, Chiefs win over the Vikings. Yeah, I had the Chiefs. Skating by just like them Eagles. Somebody's going to lose this week, though, between the Chiefs and the Eagles. I feel like somebody's going to lose. I do. Eagle Pone says, Libra Nation, let's go Buffalo. Shout out to you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those are your Week 5 predictions. Tomorrow's Thursday Night Football. I will be streaming it, so make sure you guys lock it in. I will see you tomorrow night. If you didn't catch the other teams that you wanted, I'll also drop those in the clips, so you'll get updates for those. And, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourself a great hump day, as they call it. Today is Wednesday the 4th, and you guys enjoy yourself. I will. Jacob says, are you streaming on your birthday this year? I will. E. Capone says, I'm 10-11. Oh, you're right. We're right close to each other. E. Capone, shout out to you, man. Happy birthday as well. Let's go. Libra's in the building. Shout out to you guys. All right, everybody. Have a good Wednesday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. It is your boy, Jay. Peace out. Oh, yeah, if you haven't been paying attention, the power rankings are down below. So, if you guys see that, you obviously see why these predictions have went the way they went. But, yeah, I set up the new scroll for you guys, fixed that. So now we're going to do the power rankings and all that stuff down below. I'll also give you my stream schedule and all that fun stuff. And, just switching it up, adding some new things, and keeping it fresh for you guys. I don't ever want to keep the same thing going. I'm also working on a new intro that should be done soon. And, we're keeping it rolling. We're keeping things moving, keeping it fresh for you guys. Much love to each and all of you. Shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family, all the listeners, all the watchers. It's your boy, Jay. And, I'm out of here. You have a good day. Peace out.